All right, RoboCop Rogue City. I finally got around to giving this game a try, and I gotta say, ladies and gentlemen, I like it. It's a very simple game. Like so far, I think I've put in like 3 hours already this weekend. Was jamming out to Street Fighter with the kids and everything, and I gotta say, I'm already like into it. Now, the old RoboCop movies, my recollection of them are kind of fuzzy. I'll probably need to go back and watch them again. Yes, I mean, you can say the movies are that old or whatever it is, but I was a kid when I first started hearing about those movies. I don't think I ever got the opportunity to watch them. I think the ones that I got to eventually get my hands on were Demolition Man and, the movies that kind of came out around that time. Some of the Rambo movies, I knew about them but never watched it. You're a little kid, everyone's like, this movie is not for kids. Get the heck out of here. And so RoboCop has been something where I had like the corner of my eye, but not being not being grown enough, the adults weren't going to let me see any of that. So I kind of say, you know what, forget about it. And then years later, we see RoboCop in Mortal Kombat 11, and I'm like, bro, this is insane. And then there's a RoboCop game at the end of the day. This, in my opinion, is where I kind of said to myself, okay, I got to get in on this at some point. And as busy as the schedule has been, it's not necessarily been the easiest thing until just recently. There was a Steam sale, and right now the game is going for $9.99. I told myself, I said, all right, this is it. This is the sign that you got to get in on this game. And it also opens the opportunity for us to talk about a few things here where it comes to, Steam offers. These are the games that are on sale on Steam, and you can get your hands on them when they go on sale from time to time. Some people think that, the summer sale or the spring sale is usually when people wait to find their way into getting games, but no, there are always offers, just like, you'll see on PlayStation and Xbox. And I gotta say, what I've noticed is there are some repeat offenders that find themselves here all the time. And, with that in mind, I think this is how you can basically leverage. It doesn't matter, regardless of the platform you're playing on, by the way. I'm not saying that, one sale is better than the other, but it gives you a very interesting outlook as to where you can invest your cash in that regard. Again, you'll talk about things like Game Pass. You talk about all these other things. I won't be surprised if the RoboCop game eventually made its way to Game Pass, but they've already announced, I think, a sequel. So it seems these developers are starting to basically ramp up development about, in that kind of regard. So they're bringing people into the fold right now and saying, all right, man, if you didn't get to play this game, we're making a sequel. Don't sleep on our game, so that way you're not left out because there is a price barrier at the end of the day. And so this is where most of us come in and just, sit pretty and start looking for titles to play. I'm waiting for some of these games to get discounted more because I don't want to spend top dollar on all these titles. Because again, there's a thing about time. It's time that's the most important currency. If you buy the game and you don't have time to play it, it's basically a waste. I mean, ask me about Metro Exodus on Steam. I have still not gotten around even playing it because there's just no time. Thankfully, I beat the Epic Games version, so whew, I guess I can basically rest easy because I didn't necessarily, botch it at the end of the day. But there are other really cool sales from different publishers. And I think one of the really interesting publishers here is this publisher, Nacon. Nacon Connect. They're the ones that publish the Predator games, and they're the ones that publish a whole host of other, AA level games. And I think, they really got something cooking. They're cooking the Hell Is Us game. They're bringing a Terminator's game that they're publishing as well. And then Rogue City Unfinished Business is going to be the second one in the mix, where RoboCop is going to be coming in again for a second game. So I'm already thinking to myself, they made a smart choice in getting this game to the front of those who may want to, probably partake in this particular, game itself. A few issues when it comes to performance and such, but it's when you're loading new areas. I think that's what it's been like. I turn a corner or I walk into somewhere, I'll get a little bit of that. But man, when it comes to their titles and such, I think they really have something going on. If you really want to play titles that don't, come with too much fluff, they just get you to the game and all of that, I think they're one of those publishers that do good work. There is another publisher as well that is Focus Interactive, but right now they don't have like a full Focus Interactive game, but they do have one of their games on tap that's being published, and I think it is Yep, Space Marine Part 2. It's Focus Entertainment, sorry. Saber Interactive is the developer. So Focus Entertainment has that game as well as some other games on sale. And this is where you can come in and test out, some, small titles here and there that you may not necessarily have paid attention to when it came down to, their full price. If you get what I mean, it will probably be a lot less of a barrier for you to be able to enter. And some of these games are quite enjoyable. As I'm walking through, man, time is such a monster when it comes to, trying to play these games. I had Vampire, the 2018 Vampire. I've owned that game for years, and I've never gotten around playing it. I have Alien Fireteam. I think I have that on PC or something. It's cross-play. And I also have Fireteam Elite. Is it Elite? No. I have the other one that is top-down and all that, Alien Dark Descent, and I still have not played more than a few minutes of it. And it's just, the backlog is foolish, bro. Like, it's just insane how many games you find out. I'm like, oh, look at that game on sale. It says in library. This is where you kind of find out that the market is just super duper saturated. And honestly, there's nothing that anybody can do about it. The business has gotten heated in every genre, in every category, for every gamer. There is a game. I did this whole video and I walked through this particular conundrum just to show that I'm not the only gamer feeling this stuff. Like, you know what I mean? There are other gamers out there that are thinking to themselves, man, where am I going to get time to play all this? I mean, how do you eat an elephant? You take one bite at a time, and I guess that's where we are. Now, with all of this, add the conundrum of Xbox Game Pass, which is also shoving games in your face, and, then there are new games coming out. I mean, where in the world do they expect all this entertainment to get stuffed? Because, my goodness, you have a life. You got to do other things. And in this particular market, looking at discounts, looking at subscription service, looking at, subscription services, or like this one, and looking at all of what the gaming industry is doing, it brings me to a point where if this is where my eyes are actually focused, right? If this is what the challenge is, too many games, so little time, right? Then it leads me to believe that somewhere, somehow, anybody who wants to participate in this economy has to get here as fast as they possibly can. Does that make sense? Plion's also doing a sale too. I don't know, for those of you who don't know who Plion is, Kingdom Come Deliverance people. Plion is publishing this? I thought it was, okay. Dead Island folk as well too. Payday 3, Saints Row. The remake, this game bombed. System Shock, they gave that away on Epic Games, I think, a while back. But as I was saying, it means that anybody who wants to participate in this economy is going to have to get here on time. And on time means you really don't have the luxury to think that your title is special. And this is not something that, say the common super fanboy is going to understand. The common super fanboy is going to be like, well, you're not playing these games day one, so that's all that matters. Well, it's okay. All you're looking at is what you see in front of you, and that's all that matters, right? And that's fine, but you have to understand that there's a bigger and a broader picture out there that if you actually go ahead and you think about what's going on, that's, pretty much the reality, here in gaming right now, that there are many games to play. And there's no time to play them. There are many games to sell, and there are not enough customers to buy them, in a sense. And when I say that, I mean in a sense, right? Or I guess I'll say there are only so much resources that a customer can invest in your game. Hence, spending time or wasting time with things like exclusivity and such is kind of very risky. Don't you think? I think so. But anyways, these are my thoughts. Talk to me in the comment section. I appreciate you guys' time and audience. Hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.